Hey, everybody, this is Doug Upstone for the Winner Circle podcast. I'm filling in today for Ross Benjamin, and I'm joined by decorated handicapper Chip Chirimbes. Chip, wonderful to see you yet again here on a Thursday. We're here on the YouTube with for the Winner Circle, and you know what? Our sponsor on this one is GamblersWorld.net. Now, Chip and Ross are both handicappers at GamblersWorld.net. Chip, let everybody know how you've been doing.
I've been coming off a pair of Megabuck winners. Once again, back on track in the NBA. We had waited 5 days before we posted a Megabucks because the games just didn't show up. Last night we had the Knicks. And you know something, Doug, when a team is destined to win, they're going to win. That's all there is to it. I mean, I was looking in at that game. Knicks were down 10. Brunson was sitting down. And I said, well, the Knicks' hopes not only for, say, this game, but possibly for the rest of the playoffs are shot. And yet, like I said, if a team is destined to win and they're in that spot, and the Knicks come up big for us yesterday, now 11-4 with NBA Megabuck plays, our single strongest play. We have one up there tonight, big game NBA winner, as well as a triple play of Major League Baseball action.
Excellent. That's great to hear. And as it turns out, Ross was also on the Knicks. So both of you guys had a nice winner at gamblersworld.net. And so with Ross, now, we both have to congratulate him on the runs that he's been on. He's 17-4, 28-8, and 33-10 in the NBA. I mean, he has just been killing it in the NBA. I don't know if he has a play today or not. Make sure you go to the gamblersworld.net site. Check it out there. See if he's got a big play for today, and see if he can cash with Chip and with Ross again. Now, myself, I'm over at Doc Sports. Many of you know that. I've been there since 2019. And how it works at Doc's, Gamblers World love to join, but you know what? You got to be exclusive when you're at Doc. So that's my deal. And in terms of why I'm still on here, well, as it turns out, Ross and I were doing videos before there was Gamblers World. So we had done that. So that's relationship started. And then Ross and Jim Quinn, the owner, still keeping me around and to fill in certain situations just like this one. But hey, myself, I'm having some nice runs. In this month, I am 21-9 in May. That's 70%. In terms of different things going on, 7-2 Major League Baseball run. 7-3 NBA run, and 6-1 NHL run. So just on some really nice things going right now. So look to continue it, and just trying to keep up with Chip and Ross. Basically, is what I'm trying to do right now. So that's just part of the deal. Now, hey, if you have not subscribed to this channel, I think you should. Okay, there's 10 great handicappers, okay, that are involved, and with Gamblers World and Winner Circle. You know what? We give out the free plays 5 days a week. When Ross, Chip, and I were here on Monday, all we did is go 4-0. So that was really strong. So we'll look to at least go 2-0 today with the two of us and see if we can deliver again on that. But make sure that you subscribe to this channel. And then while you're at it, go into your settings, look for that alert bell, click on that, and then the picks will come directly to you and you'll be alerted when that actually happens. Now, Chip, I know you're going to cover Dallas and Oklahoma City. Now, you watch game one against Dallas. What did anything going forward influence your decision for the pick you're about to make?
Well, not really. Remember that we've professed a number of times that no team is as good as they may have looked or appeared the previous game, and no team is as bad. You might remember Dallas got blown out by the Clippers in their first game as well, and yet they bounced back to win the series. So, by the way, you know, we were 3-0, you said last time out, and I think we were 3-0 either the last 2 times or 3 times that we have aired. So we're really turned it around in May. I know you couldn't wait for the month to change, and Ross and I have been on this great run in both the NBA and Major League Baseball. But you know, this Dallas game, which I'm going to have a selection here, it is my Megabuck play, the single strongest play on the board. So when you log on, follow by links, get the A-play Megabuck winner. It is May 9th. Now, I have a whole bunch of stories for you about May 9th, Doug.
All right.
And I knew you've been waiting anxiously for it. You know, first of all, I'm going to give you 3 quick ones. First no-hitter that was pitched in Major League Baseball in 1901 was a 4-2 loss. The Chicago White Sox beat Cleveland, and I believe the pitcher's name was Moore. Earl Moore was the pitcher. Gets beat 4-2 and pitched a no-hitter. Go figure that one out, Doug. Now I got more for you. I got some pretty good stuff. In 1961, gentleman Jim Gentile, I don't know if you remember him, a left-handed swinger for the Orioles, hit 2 grand slams in this date and had 9 RBIs. Now, there was another thing that had happened on this date that you'll never see again, and that was a game that went 25 innings in Major League Baseball back in 1984. It was, 1984. And you're never going to see this again because of the new rules that they've instituted in baseball. But imagine going to a game on a Friday night or Saturday or Tuesday night and not leaving the stadium until 3 o'clock in the morning. The game started on the 8th. It finished on the 9th. That is the longest modern-day game in baseball history. Of course, a 1-1 tie back in 1920, I believe it was, between the Brooklyn Dodgers and the Boston Braves ended up being the longest game in Major League history. Now, for this Dallas game, I think that the Mavericks understand that they have to do this and come and make it be their style. So Dallas has gone 30-50 with the over. So they've won 50 out of 84 games, have gone under the total. And of course, OKC is on the direct opposite side. I mean, they've won their last 10 games. We're aware of that. They've gone 8-2 against the number. They've gone 7-2 against Dallas in their last 10 games. And this is before, of course, Oklahoma City became a force in the NBA. And they are looking to play over. They've gone 50 out of 87 games have gone over. It's going to be a dichotomy, a difference in styles. And Dallas's only shot here, I think, is to play defense and keep this game low scoring, which is a very difficult thing to do against this Oklahoma City juggernaut. And by the way, Oklahoma City does have one of the best defenses in the NBA. They're close to leading the league in shots blocked. And they certainly, they harass you all over the floor. Yeah. I expect this game to stay under the total because of Dallas's mindset more than anything else. Like we've said before, in the playoffs, defense is paramount, and it seems to come to the forefront. You can see all the totals on these numbers are a good 8 to 10 points lower than they were during the regular season. And even, Doug, sometimes even more, even greater on some of these matchups. But I think this game is supposed to go under because I think Dallas knows that they have to keep this game close, and they can't get into a shooting match with this team, especially with Doncic ailing the way he is.
Yeah, I would agree with you. That's certainly seems to be the right side on this one. It's an interesting game. I had Oklahoma City in the first game, and obviously they covered with ease. And as you mentioned, they have just been bludgeoning teams. And in fact, during that 10-0 and 8-2 streak, their average margin of victory has been 20 points per game. Now, at the end of the regular season, they had a couple of blowouts that were just ridiculous, like 30-some, and I think there was another one with 40-some points. So that kind of skews the numbers. Nonetheless, okay, I think they're on a run of 4 straight blowouts in the playoffs, and 3 of them were 21 or more points. Now, the Thunder whipped the Mavericks by 21 in game 1. As you mentioned, Luka Doncic, that knee, it's a problem. Okay, he is far less than 100% in this one. The other key to me is that they're also missing Maxi Kleber, big man who can go outside, who really helps their spacing on offense, but yet also is a good defensive player in the paint. So with that one, the Thunder, this is one thing to me that's really interesting about this team. If you watch Minnesota play, their defense is super physical. You watch Oklahoma City play, they're just speed and quickness. So, I mean, there's a real dichotomy there in terms of style, but yet they give the Mavericks so much trouble. You mentioned that, the Mavs are 2-7 against the spread recently against Oklahoma City and the Thunder. In their last 8 games, 7 times they have held opposing teams to 95 points or less. So I'm going to go with Oklahoma City on the show here at -5, okay, in this game. Now, officially, everybody, just so you know, Chip's play is the official play for this one, and that is to go under the total in this game. All right, so there's that one. So let's transition over to Boston and Cleveland on this one. I'm going to go first on this because this was the game that I was assigned. And this one, Boston clobbered Cleveland in the opener, 120-95, is 12.5-point favorites. The line has been bouncing around a little bit, anywhere from 12.5 to 13.5 on this one. But yet it's hard to argue with the number, at least in my opinion, Chip. Since the playoffs have started, the Cavaliers' shooting is an aggregate 43.6%. That is 4 points lower than their season average. Okay, that is a dramatic difference. Yes, there's a lot more defense in the playoffs. So that certainly plays a part into it. And also now missing Jarrett Allen for several games, that doesn't help them either. However, that's still a lot of points. Now, in the last series, when Boston came to game 2 after whipping Miami in game 1, they came out flat. I think we're at the point of the playoffs. If Boston, you got to take every game seriously. Okay. I'm not saying they don't take every game seriously, but you got to come to play in this one. And I think that was one of those things. I don't think that will happen here. I think this team, is now on a mission. They want to get to the East Finals for starters. Though the number is large, Boston can control Cleveland, and especially playing defense and rebounding. And here's something, Chip. So far, when these teams have played this year, Boston has a plus 11.7 margin of rebounds, okay, in the games, and offensive rebounds, they're up plus 5.7. So with offensive rebounds, what does that mean? It means points for the teams that's getting the offensive rebounds. Then you take in the fact the C's come into this one 12-2 against the spread when playing 5 or less games in a 2-week period. The 13.5 is a massive number, Chip, but I'm willing to take it here in this situation because teams that are favored, I think by 11 or more, cover the spread upwards of 65% of the time. Let's go with Boston. What are your thoughts?
I'm aligned in this game against Cleveland, and I'll tell you why. Donovan Mitchell, of course, one of the most spectacular players and exciting players in the NBA, just hasn't fully recovered from his midseason injury. I do think he's lagging slightly. And this Cleveland team, years ago in Boston, the Red Sox said we have to cowboy up. Well, I don't know if this Cleveland team can man up. I just don't know if they can match up against this Boston team. And I really wish we had Ross around here with his database to be able to tell us what a 13-point favorite would be doing in the NBA playoffs. That's a huge number. You got to realize this Cleveland Cavalier team, they are a playoff team. They've won 50 games this year, and they're still getting 13.5. I think that number, them telling you, is that Boston is the dominant team. I mean, they've been the best team in the NBA, them and Oklahoma City, clear cut the entire season. Minnesota's emerging right now, and I think those big three are the ones you're going to have to contend with. The Knicks injuries, they have to start affecting this team one way or another. I mean, Bridges is giving you nothing off the bench, and Josh Hart, what a surprise, leading the team in rebounds, and everybody keeps thinking he's going to fall back, and I just think he's getting better. But regardless, Boston, I think they just have too much firepower. I think they're too strong. Number 5 on defense in the league, giving 108 points, 113, 114 is the average. And Cleveland is number 20 offensively. This game may go under the total, and that was my original thought. But, when it comes down to push or shove, I think Boston's just that much better, Ross. And I think that, like you said, that wake-up call they got from Miami in Game 2, I think it really readjusted their mindset, and they're not looking to play around. They know that I think they know that they can dispatch this team, and I look for a big effort out of Boston here.
I would agree. The other thing too that comes into play is that this, even though you don't want to get rusty, I think the idea now, if the more rested that you can get, if you're in a situation where you know that you can dictate what's going to occur, it was certainly Boston is in that position. If they could engineer a 4 or 5 game series, take some extra time for rest, no matter who they're going to end up playing, I think it's only to their advantage from that perspective. One other thing I'll just throw out there, because I've been doing props, the last, 5-6 shows, whatever it's been. I'm going to give you one more. Tonight, Derek White for Boston, over 17.5 points. White has stepped up his play with the loss of Porzingis. And in his last 3 games, in order, he has scored 38, 25, and 25 points. So take Derek White to go over 17.5. Well, Chip, that was fun. Okay. And, we survived without Ross.
Yeah, we didn't have him dragging us down like he usually does. No, I'm only kidding, Ross. We're only kidding. No, he always, he does such a great job, and you've done a great job today. I really appreciate it, Doug. Thank you.
Okay, well, thank you. Okay, I appreciate you saying that. Unnecessary for sure. But so there you have it. That's the picks. So the official picks today are Boston Celtics minus 13.5 and the under for Oklahoma City and Dallas. Now, tomorrow, Ross will be back in the hot seat, and he's going to be with Jesse Schule and Sean Higgs, and they're going to do the Winner Circle Live Friday show, as they do every Friday, which is going to be at 1 p.m. Eastern time. So make sure to tune in for that. So hey, had a great time doing this with Chip. We will be, Chip and I and Ross will be back on Monday to deliver more free picks. And hopefully when we come back, we'll be talking about a 2-0 day from the two of us, okay, from that standpoint. So this is Doug Upstone. He's Chip Chirimbes. We will be back on Monday. Thanks for watching. Take care.